don't want to come across like a...
When that TikTok trend started, the one where women say, I thought of this philosophical idea when I was 8, people reacted in different ways. Some were impressed, some rolled their eyes. Most didn't think too deeply about it. But the trend itself is interesting, not because the ideas are extraordinary, but because the moment is familiar. Almost everyone has had a strange, slightly unsettling thought as a child, something about time or existence or why people act the way they do. And it felt huge back then. I feel like through a psychoanalysis lens, those early thoughts feel big, not because they're original, but because they're the first time you notice yourself thinking. Lacan would say you brush against the radical dimension of being a subject before you have words for it, before you know what it means. So this video isn't about whether those childhood thoughts were deep or basic. It's about what's actually happening when someone remembers them. Children really do stumble into ideas that adults later recognize as philosophical, just in a raw, instinctive way. A child asking, well, what if none of this is real, is touching the same question that appears in metaphysics. A child wondering, why do I feel like two people sometimes, is brushing against the idea of the divided self. A child noticing, I don't know why I did that, is already meeting the unconscious. Lacan describes this early moment as a kind of collision with existence itself. In How to Read Lacan, Žižek writes, for Lacan, psychoanalysis at its most fundamental is not a theory and technique of treating psychic disturbances, but a theory and practice that confronts individuals with the most radical dimension of human existence. Children don't understand that dimension, but they feel it. And that's pretty real to me.
Don't you notice how I get quiet when there's no one else around? Me and you and awkward silence. Don't you dare look at me that way. I don't need reminders of how you don't feel the same. Oh, the burning pain, listening to you heart pump out some new soulmate. She's so perfect, blah, blah, blah. Oh, how I wish you'll wake up one day. Run to me, confess your love, at least just let me say that when I talk to you, oh, Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start?
But the trend also exaggerates something. But those childhood thoughts aren't unique. They're not evidence of early genius. They're simply the kind of questions almost every child asks when they start noticing themselves. Žižek often says people mistake universal experiences for personal insight. You think you discovered something profound at 8, when in reality you just discovered the basic structure of your own mind. Kids are pretty dumb. Children touch the surface of something deep, but they can't go further. They don't have the tools, the context, or the language. So, yes, the thoughts are interesting, but they're also very common. This goofy trend exists because it gives people a small, flattering story about themselves. It lets them say, I was always like this, I was always thoughtful. It's a way of connecting childhood curiosity with adult identity. A way of saying, I didn't become reflective, I've always been this way. Lacan would say this is the ego trying to create a smooth narrative about itself. Žižek would say it's the subject retroactively giving meaning to something that originally had none. And there's something comforting about that. It makes your life feel continuous. It makes your personality feel intentional. It makes your past feel meaningful. Even if the thought itself wasn't special, the memory of having it becomes a symbol. So the trend isn't really about philosophy. It's about remembering a time when thinking felt simple and honest, a time when you didn't worry about sounding smart or original. Maybe that's why the trend feels warm. It reminds people of a version of themselves they don't meet very often anymore, not a prodigy, not a philosopher, just a child trying to understand the world and accidentally touching something bigger than they knew. That's all for now. If you want to keep thinking about this, I'd say How to Read Lacan by Slavoj Žižek is a pretty good starter book. Heck, I'm still reading it. I'll be here again soon with something new to explore.